if you really think it's healthy, if you're so upset with someone and you continue to be polite with them and they just are not acknowledging you, don't you think then it's okay to kind of lash out at them and almost healthy?
Well, I'm going to tie in what Mary said. Um, Experiencing our emotions or feelings are okay. So I don't want that to be misconstrued, right? Because they're the doorway to a greater understanding of ourselves. These emotional triggers that we experience through our interactions um, highlight the inner conflict, our perception, in terms of how we are interpreting or reacting to what is happening, the external. So I would go to the extent of, in every given situation, our reaction, how we react, right, is actually not the person itself, not the external. It's a projection of how we see ourselves inwardly that has manifested itself in this person, if that makes sense, right? They are mirroring back ourselves because we are actually one. We are actually, that other person is you. So when you react to that person, the gift, the sense of awareness is it's highlighting the wound itself within you, right? And this is how we are able to forgive so easily. This is how we are able to let go of the grievances that we have or grudges that we form when someone is not reacting to us in a way that we would like, right? This is where the empowerment comes. So let's turn it around with what you just said with this interaction. Somebody they're just not getting it, is what you're saying. They're just not getting it. Well, like what Mary said, we're all on our own journey. We're all on our own journey. So sometimes we have to make the decision, like you're on your journey of awareness, and this person is on a journey of awareness of their own path. Sometimes you may have to make a decision that you may not, you may have to go separate ways if your souls are not in resonance with one another. Right? Now, I'm using an extreme example. If this is something that's happening over and over and over again, and you're speaking another language and the other person is speaking another language, and they're not getting it, and it's depleting you, it's depleting your energy, and you're just not really feeling good. It's okay. It's okay to set that boundary. It's okay to set that boundary and say, you know what? I'm going to begin spending less time with this person because we're not connecting. But more importantly, what I want to share with you, like what Mary said, it always goes, it always, you always have to take it back within yourself. That is where the empowerment comes from. It's when we point fingers, we're not looking within, right? So I would humbly suggest to use those interactions and those triggers that you have daily with people to study who you're being in that moment versus trying to change the other person based on your reaction. What is my reaction telling me about myself?
You made me think of something else. About the life's journey, right? The journey that we're on and the people that come into our lives. Why do they come into our lives? What have they come to teach us? You have to think, we have soulmates that have been with us for many, many years through past lives. We have a soul group. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that soul person has come here to be nice to us. They've come maybe to teach us to think inwardly, to give us an experience that will make us wake up, perhaps, to our inner being, or to make us more tolerant or more loving. So think about the fact that divorce is prevalent these days, and some people will think, um, I've made a life commitment. Yes, you have, but you made that commitment at that particular time of your life. And people easily walk away from divorce now. But think about the path. You may have walked away from somebody because actually you're moving on. There's somebody else to come into your life that you will also learn from, or you will be able to help. So there's no judgment. That's really what I want to say. If you can look objectively at your life so far, what's happened in your life, why did it happen? Where am I now? What type of person have I become? So our biggest adversities are our greatest teachers. Yes?
I ac- Thanks. I actually just wanted to kind of respond to you a little bit more. What's your name? Brett? Um, your question was about, what do you do if you're being coming from a place of love, basically, and that person is constantly still responding the exact same way. And I mean, of course, it's helpful to speak to people from a place of love, but when you're experiencing really intense emotions, like if you're really angry at your partner or friend, sometimes that's impossible, right? To kind of be like, okay, I'm going to harness this love and come at it from that place. So when I'm working with couples, something I often suggest that they do is first start off by naming how they're actually feeling, not from a place of blaming, like not using, well, you did this, those kind of statements, but just naming, right now I'm experiencing a lot of anger and I'm going to try to respond to you in a calm place, but I want you to know that I'm angry about what's happening. And if that doesn't work, like sometimes just naming your emotion automatically takes like the edge off of what you're feeling, right? So, and you're still naming how you feel, and then you're also trying to come at it from a very authentic place. The other suggestion, too, is to have a conversation outside of the anger. So, what I mean by that is, so when you guys are no longer, say it's you and a partner or friend, are no longer in that heated state, then you have the conversation because you're going to be more receptive and that other person's going to be more receptive. A lot of times, what people do is they have this big fight, this big argument, and then it just gets tossed under the rug. And then you're going to keep triggering the same thing over and over again, right? So when you're no longer in that state, it's like, okay, so you remember what happened the other day? This is what happened for me. This is how I experienced you. What do you think we can do differently next time? So those are some other thoughts. Just want to respond to you. Yeah.
We have a dinner together in a restaurant where there's soft music playing, and we can spend our 2 3 hours over there. And that's when we really talk and get it out of our systems. Whatever we've gone through or what we need to discuss, there's so many issues about our children or whatever. That's when we are both at a peaceful level where we can talk. Otherwise, we are both business persons, so we are busy with our lives. There is no time to thrash out problems.
Versus the personality and the roles. I'm a business person, I'm a mother, I'm a this. You're speaking, you're honoring his spirit, he's honoring your spirit, and that there's a purity in that, there's a beauty in that, and that's where the deeper connection happens. So the music, yes, it's outer, it's all outer, but what's happening more profound is the inner, because you're spirit to spirit, right? We want to become like Mary, and I guess we are both in agreement, different styles, and I love everything that she's talking about. We're both on the same page with that. But if there's anything that I would love for you to walk away from that I can tie even what Mary and I have shared today is to become more aware of your inner being, right? because that's where the empowerment comes from, not on the externals. The reality is, and adversity teaches us, and I've been in my adversities, trust me, I've had my own share. And in those experiences, what I learned from my guru, even, and from myself, is that everything could be crashing around me. But if I'm still within myself and connected to my core, and I've been tested. And if I'm connected to my core, nothing externally can affect me because the power is within. God is within you, the divine is within you. So nothing externally can affect you, right? So we want to get to a greater place of awareness where we're more inward, we're connected. And through spiritual practice, whether it be yoga or meditation, we're all different. Walking in nature, whatever resonates with you. Nature is wonderful. When I go for my walks in nature, my goodness, I'm grounded and I'm very still. Through these various practices that we can implement in our lives practically, these rituals, we can face anything, like what Mary said. I'm gonna be real with you guys right now. This jet lag has thrown me off of my whole spiritual practice. I wake up at 5, and I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. I'm a big advocate of meditation. I meditate early in the mornings at 5:30, and I meditate in the evenings as well. And I also, just a little insight, I chant throughout the day, Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. It stills my mind, brings me peace. I could be driving in my car and I'm chanting. I'm having a conversation with someone, I'm chanting inside, internally within me. And what that is it brings a stillness within me. But the human side to me, let me tell you, I fell out of alignment. I fell out of alignment and got swept up in the busyness of the conference. I did, and falling out of my practice, right? I told you this conversation was about being real. So I'm here to tell you that I'm human too, and we have these moments. But it's not about judging or putting myself down. Oh, Abby, oh, you didn't meditate today. But it's the conscious awareness. It's the awareness. So if I'm reactive more, it's because I'm not aligned with my core. That's all it says, right? So the days in your life when you go to work and you fly off the handle and you're lacking sleep and all of that is telling you, okay, I need to center and ground myself. That's all it is. I need to center. It means my wounded self, it's telling me you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You're busy. Your body, I'm telling you, I'm tired. You're tired and you keep pushing in the doingness. Doing, make it happen. And you're not listening to what your inner being is calling you inward to be still, to be still. That's where the power lies. That's where the power lies. When we're in that space of stillness, nothing external can affect you. Just like what that young lady said. When you're connected